Muhammad Ali had already stood across from the most feared fighters alive. He'd stared down Sonny Liston's crushing power, absorbed Cleveland Williams' dangerous punches, and outclassed every heavyweight who came for his crown. Never once had he felt uneasy walking into a training session, until one quiet Monday morning in July 1967. As he eased his car into the parking lot of a discreet gym in West Los Angeles, something unfamiliar crept in. Curiosity mixed with doubt. The man waiting inside weighed just 140 pounds, and according to Ali's own trainer, that alone made this entire situation a mistake. The building itself was nothing special, just a plain warehouse tucked away on a silent street. No signs, no noise, nothing to hint at what was about to happen inside. Ali had chosen it for that exact reason. Whatever went down here wasn't meant for headlines. Not now, not when he needed clarity more than attention. He sat behind the wheel for a moment, engine humming softly, cool air pushing back against the rising California heat. This wasn't the humid warmth of Miami he was used to. It was dry, sharp, draining, the kind of heat that wore you down before you even started moving. Beside him, his trainer Vinny sat stiff, arms folded, clearly holding back another lecture. "Champ, I gotta say it again. This is a bad idea." Ali smirked slightly. "You've already said it 5 times. "Yeah, because it's 5 times stupid." Vinny's frustration was obvious. "You're the heavyweight champion of the world." "Was," Ali corrected calmly, though the weight behind the word lingered. "You are the champion," Vinny shot back. "They took your title, not your talent, and you don't need to learn from some Hollywood martial artist." Ali shut off the engine and turned to him. Vinny wasn't just talking, he believed every word, old school through and through. To him, boxing was everything, everything else just noise. But Ali had heard something different.
2 weeks earlier, at a dinner hosted by Jim Brown, he'd met a quiet, sharp-eyed man who barely spoke at first, but when he did, everything changed. There was something about him. The way he moved, even sitting still, was precise, controlled, efficient. That man was Bruce Lee. Their conversation stretched late into the night, shifting from small talk to something deeper. Fighting, philosophy, movement, understanding. Bruce didn't speak like a performer. He spoke like someone who had studied every inch of his craft. At one point, Ali leaned forward, intrigued. "You really think a smaller man can beat a bigger one?" Bruce answered without hesitation. "If he understands more, yes." Ali laughed, loud and genuine. "That's bold. I outweigh you 75 pounds. Would you like to find out?" That's how the idea was born. 3 days, no cameras, no audience, just an exchange. Boxing for martial arts, knowledge for knowledge. Now, standing outside that quiet gym, Ali wasn't here for ego. He was here to learn. He stepped out of the car and walked toward the steel door with Vinny beside him. The sun cast sharp shadows across the pavement. Even in simple training clothes, Ali's presence was impossible to ignore. Tall, powerful, built like a man at his absolute peak. But inside, something unexpected was waiting. Bruce Lee was already there, moving across the floor, not quite shadow boxing, not quite anything Ali had seen before. His motions flowed between punches, kicks, and transitions so smooth they barely looked separate. It was like watching one continuous movement instead of individual techniques. Ali stopped just inside the doorway. His eyes narrowed. Fast, extremely fast. Not heavyweight fast, something different, pure speed. Bruce finished and turned, calm and composed, barely out of breath. "The greatest has arrived," Ali called out with his usual confidence. Bruce smiled slightly. "And the smallest is ready." They shook hands. Ali immediately noticed it, not brute strength, but something else, precision, control, like every muscle was working together perfectly. Introductions were brief. Vinny remained skeptical, arms crossed, watching closely. Ali clapped his hands once. 3 days. We learn from each other. Fair? Fair, Bruce nodded. But one rule, no pretending. Everything real. Ali grinned. I'm always real. They began. After warming up, Ali stepped forward. Show you my jab? Bruce nodded. Your best weapon. Ali slipped into his stance, relaxed but ready. Then he fired. The jab cut through the air like a whip, fast, sharp, clean, the kind of punch that had dominated champions. Bruce watched closely. Again, he said. Ali slowed it down, breaking it apart piece by piece, explaining the mechanics, the mind, the movement, the energy flowing from legs to fist. Then Bruce spoke quietly. I can see it. Ali paused. See what? I can see the signal before you throw it. Silence. No one had ever said that before. Ali stared at him. Show me. Bruce stepped in. Throw it. Full speed. Ali didn't hesitate. He fired the jab straight at Bruce's face. Bruce moved, barely, just a small shift. The punch missed. Ali threw again. Same result. A third time, Bruce didn't even move much, just leaned back slightly. Miss. 3 times, the gym fell completely still. Muhammad Ali, the fastest heavyweight alive, had just thrown his signature punch 3 times and missed every single one. For once, he said nothing. Even Vinny, still standing in the corner, felt it. Something had changed. That moment wasn't just surprising, it was revealing. Later, driving back in silence, Ali finally spoke. Vinny, he showed me something about my own jab, something you never saw. Vinny opened his mouth to argue, then closed it, because he knew it was true. The next day, everything shifted even more. Instead of jumping into drills, Bruce sat across from Ali with a simple glass of water between them. Today isn't about technique, it's about understanding. He lifted the glass slightly. Be like water. Ali raised an eyebrow. Bruce continued, calm and focused. Water is soft, but it overcomes everything. It doesn't fight force with force. It adapts, flows, finds openings. Ali leaned back, thinking. That's what I do, he said slowly. I don't overpower, I outmove. Bruce nodded. Exactly. You've been doing it all along. You just didn't name it. From there, training took a different turn. Bruce introduced sensitivity drills, feeling movement instead of just seeing it. At first, it felt unnatural to Ali. In boxing, contact meant danger, but here it meant information. Slowly, he began to understand. He could feel intention before action.
Just like in the ring, but deeper. Later, they sparred lightly, different styles clashing, blending. Ali adapted quickly, adjusting to kicks and unfamiliar attacks. Bruce, in turn, struggled with Ali's movement, his ability to control distance like no one else. Afterwards, sitting on the floor catching their breath, Bruce spoke honestly. I envy you. Ali looked surprised. You test yourself for real, Bruce continued, against the best. I don't have that. It was a rare moment of vulnerability. 2 masters, both at the top, yet both searching for something more. As the session ended, Bruce said something that lingered. Tomorrow, I'll show you how your jab can be stopped completely. Ali paused. No one had ever done that, but instead of resisting, he nodded. All right, show me. Because for the first time, it wasn't about proving he was the greatest. It was about becoming even greater. The third day didn't feel like the others. There was no tension in the air, no quiet skepticism hanging over the room. Whatever doubts had existed were gone now. What remained was something sharper,
focus. Ali arrived without a word, already in his training clothes. No jokes, no poetry, no crowd to entertain. Just a fighter ready to understand something deeper about his own craft. Vinny followed behind him, quieter than usual. He hadn't argued that morning. He hadn't tried to stop this. Somewhere along the way, he realized this wasn't a distraction anymore. It was something real. Inside, Bruce was waiting, not moving this time, not shadowboxing, just standing near the center of the gym, calm, steady, as if he'd been there for hours already. Ali stepped forward. "All right, you said you could stop my jab." Bruce nodded. "Not stop it, understand it." Ali smirked slightly. "Same thing." Bruce shook his head. "No, stopping something is temporary. Understanding it, that's permanent." That answer alone told Ali this wasn't going to be simple. They moved into position on the open floor. No ring, no ropes, just space. Bruce raised his hands slightly. "Throw it again, but this time don't think about speed, just throw it naturally." Ali didn't hesitate. The jab shot out, fast, clean, perfect. But before it fully extended, Bruce's hand intercepted it. Not blocked, not slapped away, intercepted.
Bruce nodded, clearly pleased. Now it's no longer predictable. Now it's adaptable. They continued for over an hour, jab after jab, intercept after intercept, adjustment after adjustment. Slowly, something incredible happened. The same punch that had already dominated the world started evolving. It became less rigid, less committed, more aware. Ali wasn't just throwing it anymore, he was feeling it. By the end, both men were breathing hard, sweat dripping onto the mat beneath them. They sat down across from each other again. No words at first, just mutual respect. Finally, Ali spoke. "You know, nobody's ever broken my jab down like that." Bruce shrugged slightly. "Most people try to deal with the result. I look for the beginning." Ali nodded. "That's why you caught it." A quiet moment passed. Then Ali leaned forward slightly. "If you ever stepped into the ring, really stepped in, you'd shock a lot of people." Bruce gave a small smile. "Maybe, or maybe I'd learn something the hard way." Ali laughed. "That's fighting." Bruce's expression softened. "That's truth." They stood up, the session coming to an end. No big speeches, no dramatic finish. Just two men who had shared something rare, an honest exchange. As they walked toward the door, Vinny finally spoke. For the first time in 3 days, his voice didn't carry doubt. "It works," he said simply. Ali glanced at him. "Told you?" Vinny shook his head slightly, almost smiling. "Yeah, you did." Outside, the sun was beginning to dip, casting long shadows across the quiet street. Ali paused before getting into the car. He looked back at the plain gray building. From the outside, nothing had changed, but inside, everything had. Because over 3 days, the greatest boxer in the world hadn't just trained, he had learned something new about himself, and that changed everything.